everybody. My name is Oliver Westmoreland. I am a Level 3 advisor and senior consultant with GSM Immigration. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you can continue to watch our extremely interesting videos about UK visa and immigration advice. My video today is going to be about the Global Talent Visa. Now, I have to be honest with you, for a change, this is not a visa that everyone can apply for. You have to be a bit special. More specifically, you can't make the immigration visa application until you have an endorsement or approval from an official UK endorsing body, or perhaps you have won a specified prestigious prize in your field of activity and endeavour. If I tell you the list of these endorsing bodies, you'll get an idea of the type of categories that cover the field and indeed the breadth of the fields. Arts Council England, British Fashion Council, Royal Institute of British Architects, Tech Nation, the British Academy, the Royal Academy of Engineering, the Royal Society. This covers a very wide range of fields, as you can imagine from the list. The first thing that has to happen is that you have to apply to one of these bodies for approval or endorsement, which, if you're lucky and you get it, will come in the form of a letter or a document. Or if you've won a specified prestigious prize, you don't have to do that. That's good enough in itself. And the Home Office publishes a list of the prizes that are acceptable and that qualify for this. If you can meet this high hurdle, that's the difficult part. After that, you can then go ahead and apply for your Global Talent Visa. You can apply from outside the UK, or if you meet the rules and if you qualify, you may be able to apply from in the UK. You may be able to apply to switch visas in the UK. The fee for the application, the total fee is £608, but this includes £456 for the endorsement. So if sadly you don't get the endorsement, you only end up spending £456. If your application is successful, your visa application is successful, you will have to pay the immigration health surcharge fee, which is charged at £624 a year. Now, if you're from certain countries, including the EEA countries and a couple of other ones, you get a reduction in your fees of £55. Let's recap a bit. You have arrived at the situation where an endorsing body certifies that you are, in the legal words, a leader or a potential leader. Now, you know, sometimes when employment, you get the chicken and egg situation. How do you become a leader if you were never a potential leader? You know, how do you get a job if you've never had a job? This recognises that you can be hopefully recognised as a potential leader or an actual leader. So perhaps for younger people, perhaps the more likelihood that they might be endorsed as potential leaders, perhaps older or more experienced people as leaders. When you're like this, in this situation, hopefully you can apply, or perhaps get your first-class lawyer to make the application to the Home Office or to the UK VI outside the UK for leave. Now, unlike many other types of visa, you can pretty much choose how much leave you apply for. You can apply up to 5 years leave. Of course, the more leave you apply for, the higher the IHS fee you have to pay, but you can pretty much choose how much leave you apply for. So you could apply potentially for 5 years leave. I must tell you, the difficult part of this scheme is the endorsement. The relatively easy part of the scheme is the visa application. As visa applications go, it's really quite simple, uncomplicated and straightforward. You don't have to prove English language ability, but I should strongly imagine that most people who have been endorsed by an official UK endorsing body, I should imagine that they've got pretty good English in most cases anyway, but there is no formal requirement for English language level. You don't even have to show that you've got enough money in bank. There's no formal qualification for money in the bank financial maintenance, so it's pretty easy, if I can be so bold. If you get the endorsement, probably you've got a good chance of succeeding in the visa application. You can come to the UK. Question is, what do you do when you get to the UK? You might sit around and go to the pub or go to the coffee shop for a few years. No one can touch you. You're legal in the UK, but the visa's never going to last forever. At some point, you want to probably extend your visa, or you might want to apply for settlement. I should imagine that probably most people who are on this route, probably they are aiming for settlement. The rules are slightly complicated, but you may be able to apply for settlement after 5 years, or you may be able to apply after 3 years in some cases. You come up against a very, I wouldn't say a hard rule, but it's a rule or a principle. When you apply for extension or settlement, you must show that you have worked in your field of knowledge and expertise. That's so important. I'll say it again. This is all the immigration rule says. You must have worked in your field. It doesn't say whether it has to be in employment or self-employment or anything, just as you must have worked. That's pretty liberal, isn't it? I think that the creative person could probably find ways to meet that requirement. Now, like other visas, you can bring your dependents. This could be a very good way for somebody who is suitably talented and recognised. This could be a very good way for them to come to the UK with their family and acquire settlement. The processing times for this visa are, as is normal, a bit different from outside the UK from what they are in the UK. From outside the UK, as you might expect, it's faster, probably about 3 weeks. In the UK, more difficult to judge, it could be up to 8 weeks, according to published Home Office guidance.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for this useful vlog, Oliver, and that covers a lot of information about global talent visas. We have some questions to ask about this visa category, please.
Of course.
Could you please elaborate on the fields which are covered in this visa category?
Well, I can, but in a very vague sort of way. Now, if you look at some of these endorsing bodies, they're very specific, aren't they? Royal Institute of British Architects, this is about architecture. Tech Nation, this is to do with techie, internet-y, computery stuff. Royal Academy of Engineering, well, it's to do with engineering. Arts Council, that's a bit broader. That could cover all sorts of things. British Fashion Council, that's quite specific. But British Academy, it could cover all sorts of areas. Royal Society, it could cover all sorts of areas. I can't really give a good answer to that. The people who can give a good answer to that are those endorsing bodies themselves. If you can make inquiries with them, if they're happy to endorse you, whatever your field may be, that's good enough. As soon as you have the endorsement, that's good enough to apply for the visa. But you can judge from the titles of some of these bodies. Some of them are much narrower in scope than others.
Okay, great. So if I was to just say some sort of categories such as a fashion designer, an author, an actor, a scientist.
Let's take those. If you're a fashion designer, I'm pretty sure you're going to approach the British Fashion Council, aren't you?
Perfect.
If you're a writer, I strongly imagine you're going to probably approach Arts Council, or if you're an artist. But I'm sure there's a lot of things that you wouldn't really be able to know which body to approach. You might guess that it might be one of the broader bodies like the Royal Society. You can only try. You can make inquiries with them before you make any official application. You can make inquiries with them, I'm sure. Would you cover this kind of field or this kind of field? Don't forget, there is no published limit on the fields. It doesn't say you can't be this, you can't be that. Really, the decision is with the endorsing body. Are they prepared to endorse you?
Brilliant. Awesome. Thank you very much for explaining that in such detail. Do you think a global talent visa holder can bring an unmarried partner with them?
Well, in fact, I know that they can, but In UK immigration law, that the definition of an unmarried partner is someone that you've lived with for at least 2 years in a relationship akin to marriage. If you can meet that requirement, and if it can be proved, you have to prove that you've cohabited for 2 years, but if they can prove that to a good standard, then yes, they can.
All right, brilliant. And we can imagine that, you know, most of the people who are going to apply for a global talent visa will aim to settle in the UK, but it is
Yeah.
a possibility some people may want to come here for a year and see how it goes.
Yes.
Is that a possibility?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, look, it's like most things in life, isn't it? You think something's a good idea and you try it and it doesn't work out. You don't have to make some sort of binding promise that you're going to go for settlement at some point. You just apply for the visa, you say the normal sorts of things, you know, you meet the requirements, you apply for the visa. You don't have to announce your life plan to the Home Office. You can just come. I mean, let's face it, you might come for a year and you might think, well, UK is such a horrible country, that the weather's so awful and the environment isn't as nice, not as good as I thought it was. If you come for a while and you don't like it, you can leave. You can leave before your visa expires, or you can wait until your visa expires and not apply for settlement or extension. As long as you don't stay after your visa has expired, then you're getting into issues. But there's no rules about that at all. If you decide either immediately or subsequently that you're not interested in applying for extension or settlement, you don't have to. There's no onus about it.
Sure. Okay. And you know, of course, there are lots of people who apply for visitor visa to the UK, and lots of these applications are unfortunately refused.
You're telling me?
Would you say those people who may have a visitor visa refusal in their immigration history should be worried before they apply for a global talent visa?
Well, I think it depends entirely on the reasons. A lot of refusals come for visitors because they say either you haven't got enough money in the bank to support your visit, or we're not sure of the origin of all the funds in your bank account, we're not sure that that money can really be relied on, or they say you haven't got very strong family links in your country of origin, and so on and so forth. If you have a refusal like this, it's not an issue, it's nothing to worry about. However, if you're refused on the basis that you allegedly submitted fake documents, then you should worry if there is alleged deception or dishonesty. Don't forget, UKVI are quite prepared to make allegations about deception, dishonesty. They're not inhibited about this. If you have one of these sorts of refusals, then that definitely could be a problem, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for answering all these questions.
Can I just add one thing?
Yes, of course.
If you have a previous history of overstaying in recent times, that could also cause a visa refusal, and you need to take advice from your lawyer about that, because this comes in rules. Your first class lawyer should be able to advise you whether it's worth making the application or not. If you have a recent history of serious overstaying, it could inevitably engender a refusal decision.
Wow. All right, brilliant. Thank you so much for adding that too. And thank you for today's vlog.
You're very
see
welcome.
you in the next vlog.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you. Bye-bye.